All right, I think we have everybody let into the meeting. I'm going to start off the meeting
Hang on,
now.
we've got two more that are coming in.
Oh, okay. I'll
Yep,
wait.
yep, and you should be good now.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Everyone, thanks for being on this call tonight. We're very excited to present the project called Sendero. I'm going to start off the meeting first by thanking everybody for being here on a Friday evening. My name is Jackie Fishman. I'll be facilitating the meeting on the Sendero project, which is designed as a six-story, 141 unit project comprised of studios, one, two, and three bedrooms, with a focus on workforce housing for families, as well as a leasing preference for artists. The project includes commercial space on the ground floor, gated structured parking, and two large outdoor courtyards on the second floor. Doug Heller is the project architect, and he will be going into greater detail on the design in just a few minutes. Some of you may be aware of this project from the previous developer, Jay Remby, who held the project for several years and then he eventually took a pass at developing it. It went back to the city's MR agency, who issued a new RFP, and they subsequently chose Soul Housing to develop the project. Our team tonight is comprised of Soul Housing, Mullen Heller Architecture, and Consensus Planning, and together we'll be presenting the project and responding to your questions. A little bit of housekeeping. We are asking everybody to keep their cameras off during the presentation, and if you have any questions, to please post them in the chat, and then Kelly will be calling on the appropriate team member to answer those individual questions. For any questions that remain or those that can't be answered for some reason this evening, we'll post them along with the response on the community engagement website, which we'll show at the end of our presentation. The meeting will run till 6:30. Each of our speakers will introduce themselves. In addition to the team, I believe we have representation from the MR agency, from the city. I think they're here. So I'm going to first start the presentation by reviewing the site location and planning context, which there is a lot of context here in downtown. I'm going to turn it over to Felipe Real to provide an overview of Soul Housing and some of the other projects they've completed in Albuquerque. After Felipe, we'll focus on the project design with Doug Heller from Mullen Heller. He'll be presenting the conceptual design and the renderings. And then after Doug, Miriam Hicks from Soul Housing will present the timeline. Once Miriam concludes, we'll open it up for feedback and questions. And again, please be sure to put your questions into the chat. Okay, next slide, please. Yeah, okay. The project site is located at 101 Silver Avenue Southwest. It sits between First Street and Second Street on the north side of Silver. The property is zoned MXFBUD, which is mixed use, form-based urban development. It's located in an area of change per the comprehensive plan. It is also located within the downtown center, within the downtown MRA district, within Central Avenue Main Street area, premium transit area due to its proximity to the Alvarado Transit Center station, and lastly, in the Second Street and Central Avenue major transit corridors. All of these designations are per the city's comprehensive plan. The slide that we're looking at right now is an aerial of the project site. It is less than 1 acre. I think it's 0.79. So it's a small site. To the north of the project site is a public alley, and then north of that is the city's parking garage. To the south is the Silver Gardens Apartments, several, I don't know, 4 or 5 stories, I think. To the east is the Alvarado Transportation Center, and to the west is the Imperial Building and the Silver Avenue Market. And now, with that, we're going to go to the next slide and turn it over to Felipe.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us. My name is Felipe Rael. I am the Executive Director of Soul Housing. We're an Albuquerque-based nonprofit who's been developing for over 33 years. And you can see our mission and our vision. Those folks that you see on the right-hand side of the picture are members of Soul Housing staff and our board, and every single person in that picture lives in Albuquerque. Next slide. So a little bit about some of our development experience. We have developed downtown or near downtown. In the Reynolds edition, we developed Sterling downtown at the corner of 8th and Silver. So literally about 6 blocks down the road from the Sendero site. Along North 4th Street, just north of Mountain, we developed Quattro. And then Plaza Ciudadana is at Indian School and Broadway. In addition, over our history, we've developed a number of single-family homes just north and just south of downtown. The San Ignacio, High Cordero, Edith Crispina, and El Porvenir are kind of in the Santa Barbara Martinez town area. And then we developed some single-family homes and townhomes just south of our site at Santa Fe and 2nd Street in Barelas. So we've been a lot downtown and have been developing throughout the city, but these are just some local projects to the Sendero site. Next slide. So a little bit about Sendero. The name, of course, is a kind of pathway, and we wanted to be able to give back and contribute to the rail trail that will be running adjacent to our site. So that's the name Sendero. It will be a mixed-use development on both kind of corners. Along Silver at 1st and 2nd Street, we're looking to develop some for-rent commercial space. Will be a 6-story building with 141 homes with a mix of studios, 1, 2, and 3-bedroom units. 100% of these units will be affordable, targeting households below 60% of area median income. So with the area median income of Albuquerque currently for a family of 4 at 100,400, the 60% level is 60,240. As Jackie mentioned, we're sandwiched between the Alvarado Transportation Center and the Silver Street Market. And we are exploring designing the uses for artists. Because we are on a city, we have a signed development agreement with the city's Metropolitan Redevelopment Agency, which we assumed from Jay Remby. It is consistent with the Downtown 2050 redevelopment plan by providing wayfinding in a distinct entity, parking and mobility improvements, upgraded public spaces, housing and redevelopment, support for local businesses, and once again, talking about arts and culture, we're looking to make a place to kind of vibrant this vacant lot that we estimate has been vacant for 50 to 60 years with redevelopment all around it. And at this point, to explain a little bit more about the beautifully designed building, I'm going to turn it over to the team at Mullen & Heller Architects.
Okay. Thank you, Felipe. Appreciate the opportunity to present the building as we have. We'll show you in just a few minutes. As Felipe said, we're an architecture firm located in downtown. We've been in business for 25 years, and 24 of those years have been in the downtown area. We've got quite a bit of experience with multi-story, multifamily buildings. So next slide, please. So as Jackie started the presentation, we really started working on this project almost 6 years ago. This has been our office for nearly 6 years. At that time, we were working with a for-profit developer on market rate units, but then COVID hit and the world kind of went upside down. So the project sat dormant for a couple of years, and then Seoul Housing, fortunately, picked it up. So we'll walk through a couple of the floor plans and a couple of the renderings just to show you kind of the important parts of the project. So while we were working with the former developer, we did multiple iterations of the building, and really we landed on a building design that engages the street at the ground level, provides a unique outdoor space on the second floor as an amenity for all the residents, and then a shape for the building that gives all the residents multiple windows within their units. On the ground level, the parking was pushed back towards the rear of the site into a secured, structured parking facility. Vehicular access for the entire site is off of the alley, and just on the north side of our project is the parking garage, which was built for the movie theater. So there is a 20-foot alley that runs between the parking garage and our site, and that will be the access for all of the parking. We have 42 spaces underneath the building that are provided. What this does is it really opens up, it provides the opportunity for not as many conflicts between pedestrians and cars that may be trying to enter the site. Since it's already an alley, most people downtown recognize that that is the place where cars would be going. So we don't have to worry about cars coming either off of First, Second, or Silver Street. With that, the First Street, Second Street, and Silver are lined with loft units. So we've got 11 loft units that face the street. That's kind of the boxes that don't have any dividers in there. We've got a building entry in the center of the building that has a leasing office as well as some support services for the residents. And then on the corners are commercial spaces that can be, that will be outfitted for a variety of uses, from a small coffee shop, a flower shop, an art gallery, anything that can help engage those corners of the project. By having the building entry in the middle of, right in the middle of Silver Street, we have a lot of opportunities to provide more eyes on the street, more engagement with residents as they're coming and going. And then there is a path that runs through the center of the building. So those who are parking in the garage can come right into the building from the backside of the garage into that center core where we have all the vertical circulation. Lofts will have, well, we'll get to that in just a minute. Next slide, please. Moving on to the second floor, and this is fairly common all the way up. The building was designed as an E shape that opens up to the south side of the site. Really what this does is it allows natural light to hit almost all of the units that are a little bit further back. The center part of the E shape, that middle leg of the E, on the second floor will house all of the community spaces. We've got a couple of different community rooms planned. We've got support spaces for laundry services, a couple of community restrooms. All the circulation are on the ends of the building. So we've got stairs on each side of the building, and we've got an elevator bank in that center part of the E as well, which really forces that engagement of all of the residents who are either coming to use the elevators or coming to use those community rooms. The great thing about this, this E-shaped, if you will, is that the community rooms open directly up onto those second floor or second level courtyards. So really the whole idea is that we're trying to engage as many residents as we can through those community rooms and those outdoor spaces. Next slide, please. This is a fairly typical floor plan from 3rd floor up to the 6th. We have units that are ringing the courtyards and then along the back of the building as well. Kind of those interior corners of the building are more community spaces as well. We've got some co-working spaces, we've got laundry rooms, some unit storage spaces. So really the idea is that trying to break up some long runs of dwelling units with more community spaces. Next slide, please. Okay, the next couple slides are really just the exterior renderings of the building. So the 1st floor is designed to have a human scale. We brought down the scale of that band that runs around the building a little bit more, so it's more in line with the adjacent buildings. And we also added a colonnade, if you will. The building is set back. We've got a few columns out front that provide an overhang for not only the entry of the building, but also those community spaces that are on the corners. Since this project's inception 6 years ago, the rail trail has come into existence. And while the rail trail proper will not be on our side of the street, it does run down first, but on the Alvarado Transportation Center side. We've had a number of meetings with DMD to talk about improvements that will be happening along First Street, and how this building can really start to engage that rail trail. So as the design starts to develop further, we'll be looking at adding balconies, or whether walkout balconies or Juliet balconies, and potentially expanding that community space or commercial space that is on the First Street side. Next slide, please. This is just a rendering of the 2nd floor deck. As you can see, it will have a number of amenities, shade structures, playground facilities, and balconies for the upper units that can look down, provide a little bit more security for those spaces. Next slide. And again, this is the rendering street level, looking from 2nd Street more towards the east. And as you can see, some of these 1st floor studio units kind of tucked back in there will have their front door that's not facing directly onto Silver. We've created small alcoves that provide a little bit more privacy and a stoop as well. Next slide. Okay, Miriam, thank you.
Hey everyone, I'm Miriam Hicks. I'm the Director of Housing Development for Soul Housing, and I'm really excited to be a part of this project, bring this all to you with our timeline and sort of where we are in the project overall. We started working on this site in 2025 when we assumed the development agreement. And we, at that time, engaged a feedback website for everyone to start getting some feedback. But there's not been a lot of engagement yet on that website. So we really welcome your feedback, want to hear your comments, want to hear the design improvements or other things that you would like to see, because this is a significant build in downtown and a significant build for the city of Albuquerque. So right now, the public meeting that we're in, we are still working on our funding applications. We're applying this summer through the Department of Health, Housing, and Homelessness, and then we'll be applying for funds at the end of this year through Housing New Mexico with tax credits. With that, we're looking at a very aggressive schedule to nail down these couple of funding sources and then get this thing out the door and get it constructed. The construction timeline, we're hoping to start next year and then be finished in 2029. Right now, we're assuming about a 24-month period, so 2 years of construction, given the challenges that it's a number of homes, six-story building on a very small site. We think that the construction time will be a little bit longer and may go up to 28 months or so. And then we'll start moving people in and moving other businesses into those commercial spaces. Those commercial spaces on the corners, those could be nonprofits that support artists and cultures downtown. That could be a business that that people just want to see. I know we've got a lot of coffee shops downtown, so that might not be a coffee shop. Might be something else that's more complementary to the uses that people need to see. But the artist preference is going to be something that's quite unique. And that's been a long ongoing study downtown to bring housing that has a preference for artists. So we're pretty excited to bring those amenities, provide family housing that supports families with children. Doug talked about the laundry rooms. There are laundry rooms for the studio and 1-bedrooms, but the 2 and 3 bedrooms that are really larger for more people living in a household, those are equipped with laundry equipment inside the units. So we're excited to tell you more as this project comes about. Right now, we're in the conceptual stage, but we're going to quickly go into that construction document phase and into building permitting. So feedback is very helpful for helping us understand how can we help make those decisions as we go into construction documents to help people feel engaged with this project. We'll be bringing back other opportunities to help pick out some of the landscape features, colors, and we will be putting a mural on this project. And we've been going through a cafe website for some of that to hire local artists to do those murals on our project. So with that, next slide. This is the information on the engagement website. You can use the QR code or you can go to the web address. This will also be a place where we will place updates as we move forward in the design and construction. So if you have any, we don't see any questions coming in the chat right now. So if you have any comments, if you've got questions, please let us know and we can have a dialogue. Thanks.
If you have a question, please feel free to use the raise hand at the bottom of your Zoom screen, and we'd be happy to unmute you and turn your camera on so that you can ask that question. So what do you expect as far as road closures, noise, and other impacts to neighborhood during construction?
Doug, do you want to address that one?
Sure. We have had a couple of conversations with the city, again, DMD, and a couple of contractors about the potential staging areas. This, no question, is going to be a tough project to stage for the contractor. Right now, we're looking at bringing materials into the site as needed. Staging can be in the alley. More than likely, during the foundation and the first floor work, which would be primarily concrete columns and a concrete deck, there would probably be a lane closed, I would imagine, along first, silver, and second. That's kind of where we were anticipating this to go. And then after that, most of the work would happen from the alley side. I can't tell you timeframes. We haven't gotten into that level of detail with the contractors, but there will be some sort of road closures at a minimum while we're doing the foundations and the structured parking garage. That's what we know at this point.
Thank you, Doug. Are there any other questions? We got a great comment about the layout and the relationship to the sidewalk edges. So thank you to Doug and your team. Any other questions in the chat, or if you'd like to raise your hand? Okay, I'll turn it over to Felipe to wrap us up.
Thank you for taking time out of your evening tonight. If a question comes to you later or in the next couple of weeks, feel free to send us a note through our engagement website, senderoabq.info, or you can always contact us at Soul Housing. And so we're happy to kind of get started and activate this site. And thank you guys all very much. Yep, with senderoabq.info. I do see something that just popped in from Daniel as just under the wire. We're anticipating about a little more than 40 tuck under parking spaces for 141 units. Separately, but not agreed to yet, we have been in discussions with the Department of Municipal Development to lease additional spaces in that parking lot. That is separate from our site, and from what I understand, is not going to be required as part of our building permit approval, but just something that to be cognizant of parking as a premium downtown to be able to provide additional options. Just in terms of full disclosure, Soul Housing has had their offices in multiple buildings downtown, including at one point the 320 Gold. So I know kind of parking in this neighborhood pretty acutely. And before that, I worked at Housing New Mexico MFA, which is also at 4th and Cole. So I've been been downtown a long time. So we are sensitive to kind of parking and making sure that it's right sized for this development. To make sure that we don't have seas of parking, but that also that it's not spilling in and creating a havoc for other neighbors. From what I understand, there's ample space in the DMD lot and also the Silver Gardens lot. From what I understand, also leases space to non-residents of their building, I should say.
Thank you, Felipe. There was one other question that I missed. What grants or tax abatements are being utilized or applied for?
Sure, Mark. Let me take that one. Give me a second just to kind of review my notes. We are applying for workforce housing trust funds from the city of Albuquerque. We're also anticipating we received through that executed development agreement with the MRA, $1.8 million is already committed to the site. And then we will be applying for an allocation of low-income housing tax credits. We are exploring through Bernalillo County what may be available for a long-term tax abatement, but none of that has been committed to or even applied for yet. We're still just trying to kind of get some of the gap funding and financial resources. We've not approached Bernalillo County yet with an application for the private activity bonds or any tax abatement. Given that it is in an MRA, at a minimum, we would likely be applying, I think, for up to their 14-year tax abatement if we choose not to to go through the route through Bernalillo County. But once again, Mark, it's a bit early to tell. We've not kind of pulled all those applications and structure together, but that's the main structure. The balance of the funding would come from construction and bond, kind of a taxable and tax exempt piece. So that's our main kind of financing structure and kind of tax abatement kind of game plan at this point.
Are there any other questions?
All right, hearing no other questions, once again, you can still continue to contact us at senderoabq.info. I think we'll go ahead and adjourn this meeting at this time, and thank you guys for your time and attention. And we look forward to delivering another great project towards Albuquerque.
Thank you, everybody.